not even close. This is what a farmer dreams of. Hello guys, so today we are in the sheep handling area and we've brought in a few lambs. I will show you a little bit about how that went right now. Go back. Oh, right, I'll wait. Oh, Frank, I'll wait back. You tired, boy? Good dog. Hey, no. Shh. You. They weren't all that easy to bring in, as you can tell. The dogs honestly just get fed up. I was getting a bit fed up too, but we got them in a minute. They're getting weighed, so I'm picking out lambs that are for slaughter. They're getting marked with a red 4 because that is my mark with my co-op. I'm also picking out potential ewe lambs for breeding this year. It's a really good exercise to see all the lambs up close, give them a once over. I've checked a few feet. You'll get a good view that have So here's a cracking example of a ewe lamb. So she is female and she is 46 kilograms. I'm just gonna check on the electronic system what her breeding is, but I would guess by the looks of her that she is probably from a Suffolk mother and the Clin father, which is really ideal for the sort of ewe that I want to produce. My reader, I'm gonna check her ear tag number and she will now appear on my phone. I can see that on the 3rd of July she was 41 kilos. So if I add a new metric, I'll add her as 46 today. She's gained 0.22 kilos a day, which is acceptable. Her father is Goldie, and Goldie is the name I give to my Clin ram. The dam is a Suffolk female. She gave birth on the 11th of March 2023. Now, 1 born, 0 died, so that means that this lamb was actually a single. So that isn't necessarily the sort of ewe that I want. Ideally, I'm trying to breed off only twins. There's nothing wrong with breeding off a single, and there's nothing to say that she won't produce twins, but she has now got a mark against her. So she's still on the long list. I think I'll probably put a mark on the back of her head, which denotes her as a potential ewe lamb. And what I might do is probably not keep her myself, but I might sell her as a breeding ewe for somebody else because she's absolutely spot on. There's nothing wrong with her, it's just that, well, the beauty of breeding your own ewe lambs is that you get to pick the absolute pick of the bunch, so why wouldn't I? I'll add her to a group. So ewe lambs born 2023. So if I let her out, you can get a look at her. So she's a good, rangy, long lamb. So here we have a lamb who is from a Suffolk tip. And I've never recorded the weight for him before, but today he is 45 kilos. He's in good condition. Seems to have covered fat across his brisket and across his back. This means he is going to get a 4 on his back, which is my mark for the factory. So this lamb is now a fat lamb, and it's going to go to become lamb chops this week. Come on. Okay folks, it's now Wednesday. We did the weighing on Monday and I've brought the lambs that made the weight back in again and separated them out from the larger group. There were 12 in total that made the weight, and this is them behind me. I have 2 additional lambs on the trailer from a different group that made the weight as well. I'm gonna load these lambs up and then we're gonna take them to a depot where they're dropped off and then subsequently taken to the factory. Whenever I take them to the depot, I'm gonna see if I can film them. If I'm allowed to film, you'll see a little bit of that. I don't take them to the factory myself. That all goes through a co-op, which is a group of farmers in the area that all pay into a collective, and then we have collective selling power and transport and haulage. So I should explain that the reason I weigh them on the Monday and then don't actually transport them until the Wednesday is that while Wednesday is pickup day and everything goes to the plant, I have to book in the number of lambs a few days in advance for the factory to know their numbers and for the haulier to know his numbers. So I just thought I would add that in because it does seem a little bit stupid that I weigh them, put them out and bring them back in again, but that's why that is. Here we go. So like I said, here's my lambs, all 14 of them, and there's other lambs along here where other people have dropped off into the pens. And take a look at this shed. This is only a very small part of this farm, by the way. This is a massive farm. Isn't this just a fantastic facility? So there's a central feed passage along here, pens on either side. You've got meal troughs where you can feed meal if you have lambs housed. There's pens further over beyond these again, and they have a feed passage on the far side, which is exterior. And just look at the facility here. How many sheep could you fit in here? It's incredible. On back there, there's, I think, a handling facility and individual pens for during lambing. Up here, elevated higher, there's adoption crates. So if you had sheep with only one lamb and you had orphan lambs, you could house several sheep in there and feed them in the middle, and they couldn't see the lambs, and you could put an orphan lamb in beside them so that they would potentially take them and accept them as their own. As we go through here, you can see that what the sheep are actually standing on is a metal mesh, and underneath that is a tank where all the dung would fall, and you can then scrape the tank out, and we're going to go and have a look at that right now. So as you can see, the whole facility is elevated at the back, so it makes it very, very handy for loading lorries, so the sheep don't have to drop down and go up again. But also it allows for a tank to be placed in here that you can drive into and scrape the dung out. And you will never meet anybody more excited about dung than a farmer, because if you can manage dung, you make your life a whole lot easier, especially during intensive housing times like lambing. And this is possibly the best way I've ever seen of doing it. He can drive down in here and scrape this out with a loader and spread it over the fields to fertilise the fields. Absolutely amazing. Never seen a facility of this standard before. Admittedly, I don't get out much, but these are the adoption crates I was showing you earlier up above me. I can walk in here and show you that if a sheep was standing there, the dung would fall down through. It means their feet are constantly dry, they're constantly clean, and also the farmer isn't going to have to come in here and scrape out constantly to keep the straw clean and keep them bedded. It's just brilliant. But this is what a farmer dreams of, a sheep farmer dreams of anyway. Maybe someday I'll get a wee tank in and have some sheep on mesh. But anyway, that's my lambs dropped off. I can go home now. They'll get picked up in a few hours time and they'll be taken to the factory. I'll get a sheet back which tells me how they did, and whenever I do, I'll sit down, I'll take a little video, I'll talk you through weights, grades, payments, things like that, and I'll explain to you a little bit more about how my lamb gets from the field to your plate. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon. When you're looking at the sheet, the weight presented as cold weight or paid weight is not the same as the live weight of the lamb. This is the weight of the carcass of the lamb when all offal is stripped from it. So it is literally what we are getting paid for, the cuts of meat. And the aim in this is to get as close to 21 kilos as possible, because the meat plant will not pay me for more than 21 kilograms. Anything under 18 kilograms would be considered underweight. On the grade side, you have U's and R's and E's, which are part of the Europe system, which is a way of grading the muscularity of the lamb, E being the best and P being the worst. Beside that are 2's and 3's, which is a fat grade, so you want something that is ideally a E3, that is the perfect lamb, as you can see here. A 2 is acceptable but slightly under perfect weight, and a 4 would be over fat. The value reflects that, so in the price column, 0 is the base price, which is what I get for R2s and R3s. Anything better than that, like this U2 or this E3, will be priced above that. So the 10 pence represents 10 pence above base price, and the 30 pence represents 30 pence above base price, and that 30 pence is 30 pence per kilo above the base price of $5.30, as is seen here. The net amount is then the total price paid for the lambs, and as you can see at the bottom, there are deductions, and once they're accounted for, the total price is shown.